Hello, 60 and Me viewers. You know, it's interesting. LinkedIn just changed some of the parameters of how they list people and their occupations. So they're introducing to their platform something that will allow family caregivers to self-identify with titles such as stay-at-home mom or dad. People could also use this label for their employment, such as noting that they're on parental leave or taking a sabbatical. I mean, obviously, caregiving has increased during the last year, especially during the pandemic. We have a whole new group of what we call COVID caregivers. Half of employees who said they lost employers who said they lost employees last year said they lost them because of childcare, and that was the reason for leaving the workforce. 37% left because they had to care for a sick family member. Of course, you know, we've heard all about this all before. We know that caregiving disproportionately impacts females than males, their finances and careers. The same lament fuels companies to start looking at caregiver benefits around backup care and more flexibility. But the question is that really enough? Or should we be doing this at all? In other words, are we solving the wrong problem? Increased time off does not necessarily make a family caregiver more productive. The overarching elephant in the room is company culture. You know, most family caregivers do not self-identify because there's a very real fear of them losing their job, being passed over for promotion. Identifying yourself on LinkedIn as a caregiver, I don't know if it's going to change company cultures and attitudes. You know, I've spent the last few years advocating for solutions that make it easier for caregivers, whether they're assistance programs and EAP programs, but make no mistake, they're needed. But what message are we saying when we do this? The message to me is that family caregivers have to shoulder the burden of care for a loved one, and here are some tools to ease the burden. We've actually given the healthcare system a free pass in all this, haven't we? You know, the vulnerabilities of the healthcare system have been glaring during the pandemic. Health systems like to talk about great experience, right? But they fail to recognize the family caregiver as part of the team, fail to recognize that the family caregiver has issues of their own, and fail to realizing that caregiving is a social determinant of health. Putting a Band-Aid on the solution, like adhering to the bare minimum of the CARE Act, is not enough. I explored this topic with Jeanette Galvanick, founder of CareWise Solutions. She's a business consultant and speaker who writes about preserving employment in an aging society. To her, and I agree, the answer is not providing tools for more effective caregiving at home, offering flexible schedules or leaves of absence. As I said, giving people more time off does not necessarily make them more productive. The core issue is societal perception and culture. Caregiving is considered a family or personal problem. It's also a major workforce management issue for employers. A losing proposition for employers, employees, and family. Because basically what do we have? We have families as the delivery of healthcare. In fact, we have families who are dual employed. They're dual employed as a caregiver, they're dual employed in their job. Galvanick suggests we need a new category of job creation, one that is devoted to absorbing most of the burden of caregiving. Make no mistake, we can still leave family members to do what they want, can reasonably do, while not suffering guilt or giving up the gratification that comes with caregiving. What do you think?